Here's some interesting sleep questions. What about infant co-sleeping? In the United States, the typical infant sleeps in its own bed, located in its own bedroom. However, in most areas of the world, co-sleeping is the norm. One form of co-sleeping is when entire families share one bed. Another form is when the infant and major caretaker share a bed. The Catholic Church outlawed infant co-sleeping in the 13th century because of reports that some infants had been smothered when a sleeping adult rolled over. Although there is reason to believe that those incidences may have been intentional infanticide, still risks do exist. Furthermore, research by James McKinnon, director of the Mother-Baby Sleep Lab at the University of Notre Dame, and a top researcher in this area, has evidence that infant sleep quality is reduced when co-sleeping with the major caretaker, with more arousals and more movements. Also, the normal infant pattern of sleep is disrupted by its biological attempt to synchronize with the caretaker's heart rate and respiration. Although some benefits have also been suggested, though not concluded, by his research, such as helping to establish the infant-caretaker bond, Dr. McKenna, along with the American Academy of Pediatrics, cannot recommend infant co-sleeping, but they can recommend infant room sharing, which is especially conducive during breastfeeding. Thus, the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission states children younger than 2 should sleep in cribs. Infant room sharing is when the crib is placed in the caretaker's room. What about naps? Although there is no substitute for a full night of sleep, Horn, in his nap length study, found that recovery naps in response to sleep debt can help increase alertness, performance, memory, and clear thinking, as long as they are under an hour. Let me repeat that. As long as they are under an hour. Naps that are an hour or longer instead tend to result in sleep inertia. Remember that sleep inertia? The tendency to wake up feeling foggy-headed, confused, and with decreased impulse control. Hot weather and mid-afternoon alertness dip can also increase the impulse to nap, though benefits of napping for those reasons have not been established. Naps do not reduce the amount of REMS sleep that you get the subsequent night, but they do appear to significantly reduce your subsequent deep sleep need, or N3 sleep. Age greatly influences napping. As we saw in our first lecture, the sleep of newborns can be considered to be a distributed series of naps. You might say more similar to a cat. Napping persists even when infants begin sleeping through the night and continues to up around age 10. Naps continue to emerge again in teens and young adults, but this appears to be largely a result of sleep debt occurring around school and college years. Napping once again reemerges for many elderly people. At times, this can be the result of medical or psychological problems or medications that interfere with sleep. However, when such diagnoses or medications are not involved, there is evidence that it may be largely an unfortunate result of inactivity and/or boredom. In this case, the nap interferes with, rather than working in concert with, nighttime sleep. Some occupations are notorious for sleep debt, such as those of commercial airline flight crews. Welsh and his colleagues, in his work NAP study, summarized numerous studies showing that 40-minute long rotated naps during long flights were both safe and effective. Although accumulated sleep debt was not fully eliminated, the nap significantly increased alertness and performance. What about mental alarms? Most of us require an alarm to wake us up at a required time. However, there are some people who claim to be able to set mental alarms. Can some people really do this? The most conclusive research today is Moorcroft's mental alarm study. Moorcroft first surveyed a large number of adults. Although about 50% claimed they could do this, half of these individuals said they still set an alarm because mental alarms were not always trustworthy. This left 25% who claimed to have true, trusted mental alarms. Moorcroft then tested these folks' ability to wake up at randomly selected times. Important, right? Randomly selected times. And he defined success as waking up within 10 minutes of the mental set alarm. All of them did this. In fact, many within 5 minutes. When he asked them how they did it, some said they simply visualized a clock set to the desired time before falling asleep. Others claimed to simply repeat the time to themselves before falling asleep. And in fact, many said they did nothing special at all. Moorcroft concludes that about 25% of people can set trustworthy mental alarms. Other researchers later further found that those who have reliable mental alarms show sharp increases in the hormone adrenocorticotropin in their blood about an hour before they needed to awaken. It is believed that this higher level of adrenocorticotropin helps awaken these people, but just how the brain keeps track of time during sleep remains a mystery.